Konbagaoo! Hello! Hello! Welcome to my stream! Hello everybody! Today is a very special stream coming because we're actually learning today. Yeah, you'll all be galaxy brains today, and we're gonna learn how to make your own Live2d model. Yeah. Hello, hello everyone. Nice to see you here. Hello. Yeah. Today I'm gonna show you how to draw a model, like the techniques, and then how to rig it. I see a gummy demon. Wait, where's the gummy? Where's the gummy? So yeah, I'm not gonna show you how to actually draw. Like I have like a drawing that I already did uh for this stream. So I'm not gonna show you like how I draw. If you wanna see a drawing tutorial from me, then let me know. But now I just have like a dummy model that I just gonna show you how it works. And then I'm gonna jump into Live2d Cubism Editor, and I'm gonna show you how to rig. So let's get right into it. Let me just take a sip of tea. I'm super prepared. Today I need to be galaxy brain to explain everything right. Okay. Let's get right into it. Where am I? Where did I go? There you go. Okay, so here we are. This is a model I did like today just for the stream. And I'm gonna show you. Oh god, no, that's not what I meant to do. I'm gonna show you how like the layers work. What should you do to make a good model. So yeah, this is what I drew. Let's call her Haruka. So she'll be Haruka now. So Haruka here, you can see there's a difference between a normal drawing and a model that's specifically drawn to be a Live2d model. And the main difference is the amount of layers and that normally when you draw something, you don't care about stuff that is like behind a face or something like that because it's gonna be colored. But when you're drawing for a model, you want to make sure that everything is done because when she moves, she's gonna reveal parts that are now hidden. Like when she moves her head to the side, you're gonna see what's behind her face. So that's why I made sure that there's all these layers. And I don't know while they are like there you go, they're all selected. I made sure that her hair here is filled, so everything is done. So when she moves, you cannot see any scuffs. Because make sure to really feel everything, because then it's gonna bite you back if she doesn't. She blinks her eyes transparent. What? It's transparent? I did an eye white. So let's get you through the layers. And I'm gonna show you everything. I can delete the background. So yeah, the main two things I did here is the head and the body group. I grouped it just because then it's easier for me to and for everyone else to like organize the layers. But it's not really that important. Like these names and groups are just for you. It's just for you to help you draw everything and not get lost within all these layers because there's a lot of them. And let's maybe start with the head. These layers are here, so you can move every part by itself. Because when we move, not everything goes like the same way with the same pace or the same angle. Different parts have different angles, different sides. So we need to make sure that everything that we want to modify later in the Live2d program is separated, because then we can modify it better. But it really depends on you how detached you want everything to be and how many layers you're gonna do. That's just your own choice, and it's based on how much do you want to modify every little detail. Just saying hi. Oh, hi Haku, hi Majin Haku, hello. Going to see you. Have a nice sleep. So, what I was saying, you know, it really depends how much you want to modify each layer. There's not many in this drawing because like it's a dummy model, so I didn't want to spend like eternity drawing all these layers. So I just did like a very very basic model. This is like the minimum of the minimum. Also, it's a very small tool. When you're drawing a model, you'll probably want to be like a lot bigger, like no less than maybe 2500 pixels on the smaller side, because when you're streaming you might zoom in and then you don't want the pixels to be showing, and then also it's gonna be way easier to modify when you're modeling when it's high quality, because then it's not gonna reveal the pixels once you have the warps. But we're gonna talk about warps later. Now I'm just telling you how to draw, just little tips. Like how turning a head turns body slightly. Yeah, that's what I mean. That's why we're in separate layers, because we're gonna move separately. And you can change that too. Like if you want some pies that are in different layers to move the same way, you can like join them together in the program, so that is not a problem. It's better to do more layers than and then join them than to make too little and make a mess. So yeah, this is like the very basic. You have the ball here, the accessory, and it's all in the group of front hairs. There's the bangs. You can see that everything is covered even behind the hair. So when she turns, there's gonna be some hair revealed. You have the front hair here and the shadow. Oh, I didn't name that. Wait, shadow. These names don't really matter. It's just a matter of you not getting lost in your layers. So it's better to name them so we know what are you on right now. Yeah, and the shadow, it's also gonna be on different layers, so we can modify it. So when she turns to the side, the shadow is gonna be more to the left. Okay, then let's hide the front hair because it's in a group. Another group here is the mouth. It's gonna be very important because we talk. We want the mouth to move, and to imitate the movement, we need to draw the lips separately. The upper lip and the lower lip, and thanks to that we'll be able to modify them in a way that they simulate talking. And then the mouth inside, that's also gonna be on different layer. If there's any like details you wanna do, you can also make uh the tongue a different layer. You can make like teeth on different layer to show too, but this is like basic, just basic mouth. Okay. Any tips? You can ask me too if you have any questions regarding any of these parts. But I think this is quite understandable that you just need an upper and lower way to move them. You know what I mean? No, that's not. So she can move like this, basically. But that's good for later. Then the nose is also on a separate layer because the nose moves a lot. Because nose is three-dimensional. It doesn't move along with the rest of the skin. So we need to simulate that too. So I have no questions. I mean, does that mean I'm explaining right? Also, okay. As you can see, also the right eye and the left eye are separate, even though like the same, like just horizontally opposite. Because you can like wink. If you wanna like wink and stuff, you need to have them separate. Because both eyes can move and not relating to each other. So yeah, let's go to the eye then, the right one maybe. I'm naming them the way she looks, because you can, for me this is the left eye, but for her, for Haruka here, this is the right eye. That's how I'm naming them, so you don't get like confused with my naming. But you can name them according to your vision. That's okay. As I said, the names are not that important. It's just to make you more comfortable. As you can see, the bases here are these three layers. The eyeliner, this is gonna be the part that's gonna be modified, so it looks like she's closing an eye. Actually, now that I think about it, I think that this should also be separate or just deleted, because this is gonna be also different. So let me just remove this, because this is just gonna be an issue. Yeah, I didn't think about that. Sorry, I just like drew an eye. But yeah, these lower parts here should either be on different layer or shouldn't be here at all. You'll it will make more sense once we get to the Live2d model and you'll understand how it works, how warping works. There you go. And yeah, the eyeliner is gonna be, the thing that that is used to close the eye. Another thing on the right eye here is the eye itself, the lens, the colorful part. This is also gonna be, needed to be on different layer because she's gonna move her eyes to, look in different directions. And the eye light. I really recommend, even if your style doesn't require like an eye white, I would really recommend it because then it can well, how do I explain that? You can basically clip a different layer to only show where the other layer is, so it cannot move. It cannot move where there are no pixels, because there's either this white or nothing, or just alpha layer, transparent layer. So if you clip that eye, when we move it now without clipping, it's just gonna move, to the whole place. But if we can clip it in the program later, it's not gonna move away from this white. It's gonna stop at this white and then be like clipped. So that's how eye works. I hope this makes sense. It will make sense later when I'm showing you this. That's just all I'm saying. That's why you need the eye white, probably. Okay, I think the eyes are pretty much explained. So let's hide them. And the last part is the head face. So this is, oh my god, this looks creepy. So this is basically the face itself. This is the head itself. I don't know what's to say about it. It's just the head. Just make sure that it's a separate layer and that it has good because it's gonna be modified a lot. This is the part that's like very heavily modified because the cheeks and stuff when it's turning around. So just make sure that it's good quality picture and that it's enclosed. And let me hide the hair. See, so it's enclosed. Buddy, that was scary. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to scare you. Okay, I think the head is pretty much done. This is the head part right here. Now let's move to the body, the second group here, the body. As you could see when I was turning off the visibility of this head, this hair is actually part of the body, and there are two reasons for that. One, because it actually goes beneath the head itself, but second of all, because it also needs to be, you know, on a different layer than the head. It needs to be, you know, beneath the head, because the head is gonna move separately when she's moving. So that's why it's in the other group. That doesn't matter that much, but I'm just saying. Okay, here's her bust. There would be a lot more layers if she had the rest of her body. But as I said, this is just a dummy model, so she doesn't have actual body. She just has her bust and chest, just for showing purposes. You can see all the different layers here. As you can see, the bust is separate. It's because later you can add like physics to it, and so you know, so it has. You can feel its weight, you know. It wiggles. So it's gonna be separate for the physics later, so we can modify this separately. There's the chest. I probably should feel the chest even more. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. This needs to be filled, because otherwise, when you move the chest, the bust too much, it's gonna reveal that there's actually a hole here. So this all needs to be filled very well. There you go. And then we have the left shoulder. This is also separate because when she moves to the side, the breasts are gonna cover the arms because we move to the back. Hello, Poki. Hello, Zosim. Hello. And the left shoulder. The left hand. The hand is also separate because it's, you know. Also, why is that here? Oh yeah, that is thing that happens to me a lot, and that is what I'm also warning you from. Don't do. You see this part. This shouldn't be here because it's not a part of this hand, and if that happens, it can really cause you troubles later with layers. So please make sure that no like rogue pixels are anywhere on your layers. Make sure you take care of that. Okay. You know, the hand moves separately from the clothes. That's how, you know, it works in real life. So I did it on a separate layer too. So when she moves like the lower, it can cover up the hands. The fabric can cover up the hands more, so it simulates it even more. Basically, you know, the more realistic movement it is, the more realistic the simulation's gonna be of movement. You know, the more parts move separately, and the more details there are, the better it is gonna look, basically. There we also have the neck. Yeah, it's also separate, and the neck shadow. So these two are separate because the neck shadow is gonna get modified a lot. Because, you know, she's gonna move her head a lot to the sides, you know, up and down. So the shadow is gonna be heavily modified, and that is why I drew it separately from the neck itself. And why the neck is separate from the chest is because it also moves very separately. It can, like, you know, when you're moving, your clothes can uncover a little bit, can cover a little bit more according to your movement. Also when she's gonna turn, like rotate her head, her neck is gonna rotate differently than the rest of her body. So that's why it's also separate. And your back hairs, this is like the base for her head, and it's gonna move separately from her head. You can see a good example of that in different streamers. If you want, I can also later show you like different VTubers and the details that I'm talking about in this example. But I think I covered that pretty well. If you have any questions, I can ask me. I'm gonna save it just in case I change anything. And as you can see, it's saved in a PSD file. it's a Photoshop image, because it saves all the layers, so we're not gonna get joined together like in PNG, for example. And you can still save the transparent layer, so she doesn't have any background, so it's just the model itself. Mm. And then the rigging program can just, get it a lot easier. It can load the model, it can read it, it can read on the other layers. It's just a lot easier like that. And a lot of people say that you should remove all the groups, but from my own experience, nothing really happened. Nothing bad really happened when I loaded the model with the groups right here. So I don't think you should. I mean, I'm not saying you can't. You can, just in case. But when I load into a Live2d editor, the groups don't do anything, so I didn't mind that. Do you have any recommendations for someone who doesn't have Photoshop? Oh, this is not Photoshop. This is not Photoshop. You don't need Photoshop to save in Photoshop image. It's just a file type. This is actually Krita. This is a free program. I can also link you Krita if you want, but if you Google Krita, an official page is gonna pop up, and you can download Krita for free. And that's where I draw my models, so I can really recommend it. It's a really good program, but there's a lot more too. I'm pretty sure any program will allow you to save in a Photoshop image type. So as you can see, this is just PSD, is not the program itself. It's just the file type that's gonna save in, like a PNG, JPG, JPEG. Is that how you read it? JPEG. This is just a file type, and you can probably save that in any program. Question: what program do you suggest? You mean to draw or to rig? Is it Krita? I'm gonna write it for you. Krita. This is the program. Krita. Yeah. Thanks. Anyway, yeah, you can download this from an official page of Krita. Don't download from anything else because it can be shady and you can get viruses and all that stuff. So download from a free from the official page. Is there anything to be careful of transferring files between the two programs? As I said, do make sure there are no like pixels like floating around, because then it's gonna, when you make a drawing into a model, it's gonna get very messy. So be sure of that. Be sure to save all the layers and not join them. I don't know what to say yet. It's pretty easy to load into another foreground for rigging, and that's what I'm gonna show you right now, how to do that. So let's go into the rigging program now. So you can see now we went to the rigging program. I'm gonna close Krita. I'm gonna go to my files. So essentially, it's really easy. You basically just need to go into your files where the model was, like the PSD file. I'm gonna search in my files. If I can find it. Oh, there it is, okay. I use the graphics tablet for key. To draw, yes, I used it, but to rig, I'm actually not using. I'm just using a mouse to rig. I don't feel like it needs a drawing tablet. I mean, I think it's just preference. If you prefer to rig with a graphic tablet, sure, but it's not needed to 2D model. It's just needed to draw. I mean, you can draw the mouse, but it's very hard. So I'd recommend the graphic tablet to draw, but to rigging, no. No need to. Okay, I have my files ready here. You can see it because it's just showing the program. So basically, the only thing you need to do is also open the program and just drag the file into the program, and it's gonna load the PSD file itself, and it's gonna do all the work for you. See, and now it's in the program, and I just basically clicked and dragged the file to the gray area on the right, and it just automatically loaded the file. As you can see, it saved also the grooves here, so, and it's loaded all the layers, and we're now right here on the left. So it's very easy. Just get a sip of tea while we prepare to start making. Okay, now I'm gonna explain to you every part of what's happening on the screen right now. So, as you can see, all of these are different parts where you have different sectors. The most important things for me are these three. This is just to show all the layers that you have, or all the files that you have in your picture right now, in your model. Because, for example, if you forget to add something, you can just drag it again and add it as a texture later, and it's gonna appear here and here, and you can use it even though if it was in a different file. You can still load it and join it with the other one, so it's just one model. Right now, it's still just a drawing, still showing with a different amount of layers. The thing that's gonna make it a model is two main steps that we're gonna do at the start because they're the most important. First, we need to Control E, yeah, Control E. No, Control A. Sorry, Control A. So we selected all the layers here. See, they're all selected, and we're gonna create a mesh. It's right here. You can either automatically generate mesh, so the program is gonna work for you, or you can make it yourself. But I recommend starting with an auto mesh because it's a lot of work, and then if you really need to change the mesh created by the program, you can make your own. So let's click on auto. As you can see, now you have to, in this popped thingy window here, we need to change the preset. And basically what it does, you're choosing how many polygons your model's gonna have. You know how in like 3D models have like polygons, so it basically tells how many sides it has, how many details can it have. That is the same thing here. It's just 2D, so you're basically making polygons onto the model, so it becomes actually a model. And you can, deformation little will have less polygons, so you can edit less of it. And deformation heavy is gonna have more polygons, so you can edit it more heavily without it being like more messy or very stretched. So let's go with deformation heavy, maybe. just to show you the difference. See, this is all the polygons that are now created into this model. Live2d uses polygons? Yes, it actually creates polygons onto the 2D model. See, this is all the polygons. As you can see, the face has the most because it's gonna need them, and the less detail it has, the less polygons. These triangles add the polygons, and these are like the main points of the polygons. So you see, now when I move this one, it also moves the picture, and you can see how these polygons work. See? Or when I move this one, for example, in the eye. No, I think that's what I liked. Let's see here. See? It's actually moving the other polygons. Okay. And now let's see the formation little to compare. Oh, that's a little. I think I'm gonna work with deformation a little because it's just a dummy model, so I don't really need a heavy addition. See, now it made a lot less polygons, so it's gonna be more chunky, but it's definitely easier if you have a slightly less, functional computer, maybe. It's rendered the image in the same 3D state, right? You can say that. I mean, it's still 2D, but it just has polygons that work like 3D. I don't know how to explain that, but it makes sense. Okay, now we can close this, because it's already made into a mesh. You don't need to, key or anything, just close it. And now, all of these are a mesh. They're all polygons. And the second thing that's very important is to make a texture, because texture is actually what's gonna be visible as a model. And also one thing I forgot to note, this is a free version of Live2d modeling. There is also a pro version that you need to pay for, or you can have like a 40-day free access to the pro version, and later you're gonna get the free version. So I just wanted to tell you that even if you don't have the pro version, you can still make a good model. You just need to work with the limitations that the free version has, but it's possible. It's very possible. When Rick did allow the 2D image to move without technically too much. I don't really know what you mean, but it just depends on how much you are gonna. We're gonna go to parameters later, but it basically, you are the one that chooses how much it moves. Now it is just a static image. It's not gonna move now. It is a model right now, but it's not gonna move. It doesn't have any movement attached to it. It's just plain polygons. We need to add movement to it ourselves. But first, let's make a texture. You can go here into modeling and the texture and edit texture atlas. As you can see, free version only has 2040 pixels. For texture, you can go way more when you have a pro version, but I only have a free version right now just to show you. So let's go into this. Okay, it automatically, we're gonna lay them. Why did I say that in such a weird accent? Wait, is it even showing for you? Can you even see it? Oh, you can. Okay. Let me change that window. Texture atlas, there we go. Now you see this popped up window right here. And sorry, stop deforming the image too much. Oh, I mean, as I said, you're the one that decides how much to format. You are still deforming it. It just means how many polygons there are, so how fluid the image is gonna be. I'm just talking about the boing boings. Like giving to the physics. Oh, you're gonna see what I mean. You're gonna see what I mean when I go into the physics. Everything gets into time, okay? So I'm gonna make it larger for you so you can see. You can see the textual atlas. So it's basically just like a page where all the texture is gonna be the texture information. And now it's laid out very messily, so we're gonna definitely make this bigger. Wait, make these bigger. So the bigger each one of these parts is, the bigger is gonna show up in the final model. So it's better to do them really quite big so they aren't pixely. And you know, the parts that are gonna be less visible or less important, you can make them smaller because we're not gonna be as visible. But things like the face and the hair probably should be good quality. And they absolutely should not go into each other because if they do, it's gonna register one texture as a part of the other. So we're gonna have part of one texture showing on the other one, and that's no good. You don't want them colliding. That's the mouth. I think that's the nose. So it's just a matter of layering those. I'm sorry, good layout, I mean. It's just a matter of a good layout. Okay, I want this. This is the mouth, I think. So it should be rather good quality. And what is this? Okay. The bust probably should be good quality as well. And the eyes should be good quality because I feel like eyes are one of the most important parts in model. No. You know, the shadow is not as important. So we can lay it right here. And we can get the eye here. So it's... Oh, no. Wait, that was a misclick. Okay. Let's see. Oh, this one should not be here. Okay, this is an eyeliner. This is also gonna be modified a lot. So it's very important to have good quality. So the pixels aren't showing. Yeah, basically the face should be the most good quality. Also, where is the top mouth? Where is the upper lip? So I don't see it. Mouth? No. I lost the mouth. It's not here. What are those? See, sometimes things like this are gonna appear. They're just useless, so you can delete them. Oh, this is eyelid. Okay, that's why I didn't see it. I thought it's useless. Oh, sorry. Okay. Okay, but I cannot find the upper lip for some reason. So you're making sure face is good size for quality and no overlap. Yes. I mean everything should be good quality, but face should be the best quality because that's what you're gonna modify the most and what's gonna actually, be seen by others the most. But I really don't know where that upper lip went. What is it? Is it under them? Yeah. Oh, is this it? Yeah, I found it. Okay, found it. Found the upper lip. No, no, no. Also, you can rotate it. You rotating it is not gonna change the actual. This is just like a texture layout. It doesn't actually show, proper size and the proper rotation. Place important is. And now you just click OK, and now it's gonna save the textures. And you can close. I'm gonna close. Oh, it's closed automatically. Okay. And now you can switch to texture to see how does it look compared to the guide image with T. As you can the T key. So if something is too pixely, then you can see how it changes to more pixely. So yeah. As I said, also remember this is a very low quality image that I just drew for the tutorial purposes. So please make your models bigger. Okay. Okay. Let me take a sip. Get my oh no, my tea! Wait, I'm so sorry. I wanted to get my tea from one cup to the other because I have 2 cups of tea, but it just spilled a little. Oh no! Wait. Oh no! Yeah. I need to get a tissue. Okay. Now it should be fine. Emergency closed. Oh, yeah, everything's fine now. Emergency is over. Okay. Let's go back. I think now we can go to the ring actually, because we already did the texture in the mesh, so now it's ready for rigging. So let's start with making the warps. Right here you have warp deformate, so this is what actually is gonna deform your polygons. Hybrid Peppy, subtle noises. This is a warp rotation, so it's gonna just mainly before rotating and moving. And this is rotation like a creation, so you can make a rotation any way you want. First, you need to select what layers you want to move together and what do you want to move separately. So let's say I will start with the face. you want to make like a general head rotation. So let's select all the things you want to include in your general face warp. All of the eyes gonna be here. You can select like additional things with control and then click, or you can select everything between selected and your mouse with shift, and then it's gonna select everything between you and the selected layer. So let's move all of these, because all of these is the head. You can check it right here. See, I move all of this. Now all of this is selected together. And then we can create a warp. So let's create a warp. Warp the former of head. This is just a name for me. These names don't really matter, even just matter for you and organization. As parent of selected objects. Parent means that it's gonna deform everything that is selected here. Or you can set parent manually, because every warp also has its parent. So that means that you can actually stack warps. And for example, you can have a general head warp that's gonna affect everything in the face, and then you can have a just eye warp. And the face warp, like the head warp, is gonna affect the eye warp. But you can also select eye warp itself without selecting the head warp. So you can move them separately, but also you can move them together if there's a need to. So that's why you have parent. You can so much for detergent pretty much. So you can this way, setting a parent, you can move you can move different warps together with their parent warp. It's like a family tree. like a pyramid scheme. You have the main warp, and then you can make like children warps that go along with it. To be seeing an advanced avatar to the screen, I didn't want more, but be interesting. It is pretty interesting. And here you can conversion divisions is what the main points of the warp is gonna be. Let's create like the basic one. As you can see, this is a warp. Yeah, the green things are the warp, and here are like the main points of your warp. So this is what actually is gonna grab everything around it and deform it more fluidly than moving the polygons themselves. Because you can see, if you grab the polygon, itself, you know, it moves not regarding this or this or this. It only moves within this area. But with a warp, it moves everything close to itself. Now, excuse me for a second. I'm be right back. So, be right back. Hello, I'm back. We're gonna do a few paper month. Oh, the version that I'm using is actually free. There is a not free version of this, but this one is actually free. There is a free version of this program. It just has limited limited how do I explain that? It has limits, but it's still good to use. Oh, you can do that with me, Alexander. Don't worry. Okay, what did we end on? Oh yeah, I was explaining your keywords. So now there is the deformer of head. Maybe let's do also eye deformer. And I told you about clipping the eyes to the eyelid, and this is what I mean. Every way, every part here on the left is an ID. So when you create a mesh, every mesh gets like an ID. So it's basically like identification name, and you can clip different layers to each other so they don't leave the area. So they don't leave the area that is clipped to. So I'm gonna copy the left eyelid's ID and paste it to clipping ID to the left eyelids and enter. And now you're gonna see what it does. Oh, I didn't feel the eyelid too good. See, it clips the eyelids to the eyelid, so it cannot leave it. I'm gonna fix that eyelid because this is annoying. Quick fix. Please don't do that when you work professionally. If that happens to you professionally, edit it in Krita and go back. But that was just a quick fix for tutorial purposes, so please don't take notes here. Okay. And I'm gonna do the same thing with the right eye. You can change the IDs though. This name is not set, but I'm, not gonna. Because this is just a tutorial. I don't need it to be that organized. And now this eye also. Oh, wait, what? Unmesh. It is clipped. Okay. Right eye. Right eye white. Left eye. And left eye white. Okay, everything's fine. Okay, thanks to this, nowadays I cannot leave the eye white, so it's not gonna, be on a random piece of skin, because that would look very terrifying. Okay, let's make eye closing. I'm just gonna do it on one eye, because this is just to show you how to do it. So let's select. Oh yeah, the parameters. I didn't explain the parameters to you. I'm sorry. Let me take a sip of tea. I'm gonna explain the parameters because they're very important. As you can see, also this is like a page that informs you about this art mesh. This art mesh is basically, the polygons of this model, and each layer is a different art mesh. That's why you need the layers to make different art meshes from them. So this is all the information about this art mesh. You can make it blend with all the layers differently. You can change the opacity. So if you want something to disappear completely, for example, when she moves, you can. And draw order is basically how do I explain that? it's basically what layers, what art meshes are beneath and like below and above each other. So for example, when I go minus tendril order, it's actually gonna go beneath the face. It's like underneath it. But when I go back, it's on top. It can be very used, and it also can be changed during the movement. So for example, when she turns to right side, her right arm can go beneath the bust, and when she goes to the left, her right arm can go above the bust, so it's covering it. And I'm so okay. I'm gonna get a sip of tea. Let me explain the parameters now. What parameter is, it's basically the key points for your movement. And these names right here are actually quite important because they're allowing the face tracking program that I'm gonna use next to read what movements should be associated with what parameter. So for example, when someone moves their head to the right, the face tracking program is gonna be like, oh, they moved their head to the right. Let's moved this parameter to the right. So thanks to this, the model does the movement that you do because the program associated your movements with the right parameters. I hope I explained that right. And each warp should have the parameter turned on, and you decide how many key points does each parameter have. I usually make 3 or 2. You can make more if you want. And basically what that means is angle X is turning to the side. So how do I say that? When when these are the 3 key points. The one on the one right here in the middle is gonna be just a face in the middle, like up front, looking to the front of you, and the key point to the right is gonna be the face looking to the right. So, and the key point to the left is gonna be the face looking to the left, and you need to click on this key point to the parameter, and then you can warp. So deform with the warp. And because this warp has this parameter turned on, it's gonna save it, and later the face tracking program is gonna use this one to like slide this slider it by itself whenever it needs to, because this slider is what's gonna make the movement between these key points. I'm gonna show that to you right now. Let's move her face to the right, not like this. let's move it like maybe I think that's gonna be easy. Let's I think I have to show that to you right now. Should I actually make this look good or just like do it? Okay, let's move it. Like, it doesn't really matter if this looks good. I just want to show you guys you. So, let's try to make her look to the right. I know it is gonna look very weird because I'm just doing this, for the tutorial. So, I did not intend for this to look good. Okay. Of course, if you actually want to make it look good, you should separate all of these with different warps so they move separately. and that way you can make it actually look good. But now I'm just showing you how the warp works. Like, question that isn't connected to the stream, but Poki, do you have like your own Discord channel, or do you ever make one of this one? I will definitely will make one if there's more fans. Yeah, don't worry, I will make one. So as you can see now, we made the head move to the right, and thanks to this, now let's try what happens when I move the slider now. See, it connects this key point to this key point, and makes like everything in between by itself. So now it kind of looks like she's moving her face, except it doesn't because I made it look like that because it's just for, you know, showing purposes, so it's not good. But I just wanted to show you. So maybe let's actually make this one look good. Let's make an angle Y. This is up and down, basically. Weird, that is so cool. Also a little creepy. And yeah, let's now make it proper. Let's make separate layers for everything. So let's make a warp for the front hair and the bow. Or maybe without the bow. Oh, let's do it with the bow. Normally you should make the bow separate, but as I said, it's just for training purposes. So okay, warp of the front hair, everything is fine here. So there it is. And now this warp is under the command of the warp deformer of head. So it's still gonna get, you know, changed by itself, but also can be changed along with the rest of the warp. So it can, you know, be separate, but also it doesn't have to. Let's also make the nose separate. So let's make a warp deformer of the nose. Let's make a warp deformer of the mouth. And the warp deformer of the eyes. Of both eyes. And now, thanks to that, we can actually move everything separately, so it can be deformed better with better quality. So it's not, you know, so it's not looking flat, basically. Because the point is to make it look 3D, so it moves naturally. And so let's make the deformer of the face. I mean the head base. Let's go like that. Let's make her look upward, shall we? First of all, we need to make these parameters to every little warp that we made, because otherwise, if we don't, we're just basically transforming the model itself and not just the parameter. So it's just gonna deform everything. So let's make these 3 key points with every warp with the angle Y. Sorry about that. It was someone else called me. Okay, let's go back. Let's make it rope upward. Yeah, I just made the angles wide to everything. Let's also make the editing to the rest of the body. So let's make a warp with everything that's her body. like a general body warp that also has a angle Y, and make a warp for the back hair. For back hair. And it also should have the angle Y. Okay. And now it's just a matter of how do you want hair movements to look like. Like, I cannot teach you. It's kind of like drawing, you know, there isn't really one tutorial that's gonna teach you how to draw. This is something that you need to figure out yourself, and you know, it just has a lot of artistic value, you know. So as I said, it's very something like subjective and personal that I cannot teach you how to do it exactly step by step. I just can show you the tips and how to actually do this stuff. So first of all, I'm gonna move head upwards, so it looks like it's actually, you know, she's actually looking up. Let's move also the body. Let's move the body upwards too. Because you know, when you're looking up, and a lot of your muscles work. You know, when we're moving, it's not just the face moving. It's also the neck moving. It's the your chest moving, your arms. So you have a lot of muscles working together. That's why it's good to have as many things moving along as possible. My parameters keep constantly changing. How do I style them so I can edit them? What? What do you mean changing? Are you sure you're editing them well? Okay, this has been moved up. And the back eyes should also move a little bit up. Now, let's edit the head face. I'm gonna just build like this, so it looks like she's, she's how do I say that? She's moving her chin up so she can look upwards. Hope that makes sense to you guys. Also, this drawing is not perfect. Like, as I said, it's a dummy drawing, so it's gonna have a lot of, dirt and bad lines. So, the angle and X and Y constantly sliding from left to right. What? Oh, maybe you clicked this because there's like a animation thing here. Is that what you mean? See? This is an animation thing here. And you can stop it again and reset to default values. So this is just like a for like show keys of your character, and you can turn it off. Okay. Yeah, the face has been moved a little. That's good. Let's move her nose upwards. Let's move her mouth upwards. And let's also make it smaller, so it's kind of like she, looked upwards, so the perspective changes, I did click it. Thank you. No worries, no worries. We all make mistakes. I make a lot of mistakes, and it's okay to fix them. And let's move the eyes upwards too. And let's make them more flat from the top, because the perspective of her looking upwards makes you see the things that are lower are gonna be elongated compared to things that are higher, because they're far from you. And let's make the front hair also like that. And now let's edit the hair shadow. Oh, and also the neck shadow. let's make a warp for neck shadow. Neck shadow. And let's make it have the angle Y parameter. Key points. And let's move it upwards. So it looks like, you know, she moved upwards, so there isn't much shadow here. And the shadow. Warp of her shadow. Great. Let's make it have an angle Y. And let's move it upwards. I just realized I made all of this. See, this is the mistakes I'm talking about. You need to be very careful when making, because you can make stupid mistakes like that. They are fixable, but you can make them. See, I just accidentally made every little of this in the middle. So now this is the highest part of her head. And to fix that, we need to actually change the parameter itself. So this is the 0.0. You know, each parameter has like its numbers attached to it. So this is, see? But I can still showcase you how rigging works. This is the 30th point of the parameter, and this is the minus 30th. So let's make it look like this is the 30th, the 0. So let's go to parameter settings, and let's make the point of Y, and let's make the maximum to 0. So now the one I just made is the biggest point. And let's save it. I added again because now that I removed the farthest key point, I basically moved it to the left a little every point. There's only 2 left, so I added the middle one again. And now, so see, she's looking upwards. Because I moved so many things with her, it's looking more realistic. But maybe we need to add the third one to everything, to every warp again, to make sure that that she's moving accordingly. This was my mistake, but I'm showing you that it can be fixed. There we go. And now it's fixed. Now the wrap parameter is okay. The one to the right is the furthest upward point. And the one to the right then is gonna be the lowest point. So when she's looking downwards. So let's make her look downwards as well. And let's start as before with the face itself. Like this. And let's move the whole face base. Now it looks really funny. Thank for the drill, but time to sleep already. Took me to I'm lying, sorry, my head is working. Oh, I'm so sorry, Rick Puppy. I'll feel sleep right. Okay, I'll leave you with this beautiful face right now because I need to pee pee again. Too much tea. Too much tea. We're back. Hello, Konbagaoo. I am back. And let's continue ringing. We left with this beautiful face one. No. Let's move everything else. Let's move the eyes. Oh, this looks really funny. Okay. Now let's move the mouth. Let's flatten it down a little again. And the last is the nose. And then we can move the front hair. Let's edit it down here a little. And here we go. Now she's looking upwards and she's looking downwards. And now we should move the back hairs down. And the rest of the body. And the neck shadow. Because now that she's looking downwards, we need to make sure that her neck is shadowed. There we go. See? And now she's looking downwards. She's looking upwards, downwards, downwards. It's not that good, because, you know, as I said, it's just, it's just a dummy, tutorial. And that is something that you need to learn yourself with practice, how to actually work well. But this is just to showcase how to do things and that you should move the most amount of things that you can. Let's make everything back to normal. Because now I'm gonna also teach you how to close her eyes and her mouth. First, we need to find the eyeliner. Let's edit this eye. Let's make a warp for this eyeliner, because this eyeliner is gonna be used a lot. Abused a lot. Right eyeliner. No. Eyeliner, what? There you go. Let's create. And we also need a warp of the eye white. Because these are the two key points to making. Oh no, I got the left one, not the right one. I'm so sorry. This is why I need to be careful, because there's a lot of different things. Yeah, I white warp. I want. There you go. And now we need to select both, select these and make them have a, there should be a parameter here, because these are all preset parameters. So this should cover most of your things. If you want to make any additional things, you can make a new parameter, but these are preset. So let's find a right eye close. Eye right open, there you go. Let's make a warp here. And this on the right is when the eye is gonna be open. So then on the left, we click, and this is where the eye should be closed. So let's do that. First, we need to edit the eyeliner and move it where we want the eye to be closed. Maybe let's flatten it a little. You can design how do you want the closed eye to actually look, because everything with the eye is gonna be enclosed in this. So now that we're happy, let's go to the eye white. And as you remember, this part is actually clipped to the eye white. So whenever the eye white moves, this moves too. Oh, wait, islands. See, the islands is clipped. Why is it clipped to itself though? Wait, wait. I think I clicked the wrong thing by accident. Right, islands. Clipping ID, islands. There we go. Now it's clipped. I was like, are there any parameters of setting that we should never touch or that we don't end up ruining our project? Oh, you don't end up ruining a project by parameter. You can always delete the parameter if you want. All of these are, to be used. You can create or delete parameters. The parameters aren't actually messing with the model itself. They're just like key points to the movement. So, I don't know how to explain that, but like, for example, let's see, I made a breathing. And let's make all of these have the breathing. For example, let's have these three warps have the breathing parameter. And now let's see. Let's click to this point so it's like the breathe in. And let's move it like here, for example. Oh no, I messed it up. But it's not actually messing it up. You can see, like, you can get it back to the standard point and just remove the parameter itself. And now it's back to normal. It's not messing it up. So don't worry. The only thing that you can mess up is when you change all of them with the standard one. But like the standard in the middle should be what you actually see right now. Like it shouldn't be touched. The middle or the standard key point, but the rest of them can be just be deleted. The most important is what the basic one or the key. Let's go back to the eye. I hope I explained that well. Eye. Okay. Now, let's get the eye white to hide. It's basically hiding under the eyeliner, so you can't see the eye anymore. Thankful that you have a good stream, Poki. Oh, thank you. So let's flatten it. As you can see, because the islands is clipped to the eyelet, it's not moving with it. It's not being warped, but it can't move beneath the eyelet. So that's why it's very important to clip it. Let's flatten it and then let's warp it so it's underneath the eyeliner. And there, now you can see it. And when you go back, did I not make? Oh no. Wait, wait, I did that wrong. Wait a second. I need to fix this now. See, this is what happens when you don't make the key parameter points. This is what you end up with. Fortunately, I was able to fix it. Okay. And now... Oh, I still don't make it. Oops. Okay. And now let's make it closed. There you go. Now it's working. See? Now she's closing her eye. I'm so sorry. See, this is what happens when you forget to make these points right here. You basically don't make a parameter, so it cannot change. You cannot do anything with it. It doesn't move. So that's why it's important to make the key points. And there you go. Now it's... See? Now she's closing her eye. And opening it up. Let's see, because we want, let's see the standard. Default values is what you're gonna start with. This is what is, showing all the time without movement. So let's see if everything is okay. It is okay. You can change what the default value is in the setting parameters. So for example, parameter settings, there we go. Is it popping out? No. Let's make you see it. No. That's not what I want. Parameter settings, there we go. This is the parameter settings. Basically, this is where you can manage your parameters. So as you can see here, we change the parameter maximum to 0 when we messed up that parameter and change it so we can make it, the upward angle, the sliders to the right. You can also change the default here. So, what that means is, for example, now the eye right open, the default is 1, so the eye is open all the time. But we can change it to 0, and that will make the default let's reset to default, and now her eye is closed by default because we changed it. So if you want the eyes to be closed by default, you can do that. Or when you want anything else to be the default. Dragon. I'm not a dragon, and I'm not a baby, and I'm not a girl. I'm a demon. Demon! Does Live2d allow us to make a hyper animation? Yeah, it does. It can make everything with it, to be honest. It's also used for animation, not just for modeling for Live2d. Okay, now also I wanna show you how to edit the face. And I mean the mouth. That's what I mean, the mouth. It's kind of just like the eye. You just need to deform the upper and lower lip and then hide the mouth inside under them. So let's go to the mouth. Let's make different warps for the upper and lower lip. Upper lip, the lower lip, warp, lower lip, and also make a warp for the mouth inside. There's a lot of warps, I know. Mouth inside. There you go. Now let's find the parameter that says mouth open. It is mouth open, and now we should make all of these have 2 parameters, 2 key points. Okay. And now we can edit. So you can see the two keys are the same now. So let's change this one. And let's make him mouth close. First of all, I'm gonna move the upper lip like this. A little down. Let's make her lower lip flutter. And let's hide it within the lip, the upper lip. There you go, deformed it. And now her mouth seems like closed, but now we need to also edit the mouth inside. So let's also flatten it. Let's flatten it as much as we could. No, let's flatten it. It's basically good to make it as small as possible, especially when you have complicated, more like lines, more thinner lines. That's what I mean. Thinner lines. It's good to be very careful. That's loud. Only wholesome here, okay? And now let's see. Let's see how it looks. See? She's now opening her mouth. So now she can, close her eye and open her eye and move her mouth. Okay. And why is there a dark spot on my stream? I was like, okay, there you go. Other thing I really want to show you is rotation. So, we can rotate like this to the sides. So let's do that. So let's take the head warp. Let's find and let's make a rotation warp. Rotation, and it's gonna be a parent of all of these warps. So all of these warps are gonna be connected to this rotation. Okay, and now let's find a warp that says angle Z. Angle Z is basically the rotation. Let's make the 3 key points, and let's go to the right one. And now let's just rotate. Let's also move. Because when we're rotating, our whole body moves, so... Okay? Now let's make a neck rotation. Neck rotation. Oh, again, fine. Neck rotation. And let's add the neck shadow to it. So now the neck rotation is gonna affect both the neck and the neck shadow, because the shadow isn't really necessary now. So let's rotate it. Maybe a little more. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean the key point. See? This is important. Let's remember the key point, otherwise it's gonna have been trouble. Okay, don't worry about this looking weird. We're gonna fix that in a second, because now we're gonna make a key point to the warp deformer of body. Let's make the angle Z parameter, and let's edit it. Oh no, sorry. No, that's not what I wanted to do. We need to make a warp that's not affecting the neck. So maybe let's affect everything except the the hands and the neck, because we want as many things as possible to move separately. So let's make a warp like this. Of torso, let's see. Let's make it have an angle Z. Then let's make another one for each of hands. This is a left hand deformer. I mean warp. And let's make a right hand deformer. Okay. And now we have all those new warps that we need to make key points for. Part of the parameter. There we go. We also need to change this. It doesn't have a key point. Okay. There we go. Okay. So move this a little. Okay. Now let's change the torso. I didn't make it bigger, it doesn't know what I meant to do. Okay, and let's change the hands. It is the right hand. And the left hand. And there you go. Maybe let's warp the head a little bit more. Let's make it rotate a little more. See, and now she is turning. Okay, I think I explained rotation a little bit more. It's basically, you know, rotating, moving your neck and stuff. Okay. Okay. What else? Physics. Yes, physics. Very important. So, you know what physics are? It's basically, you know, the relation to movement. And when you want, for example, to hair to wiggle or to the bust to move, you then need physics. So let's do that. What you'll need to do to be able to do physics is make a new parameter that's specifically made for physics. So let's make a new parameter. And let's change it to Bangs physics. Or Bangs wiggle. Let's see Bangs wiggle. And let's go to Bangs. And let's make a warp for Bangs. And now, just like we made the, you know, the other parameters, let's make this one. And this depends how you want the wiggle to look like. This is basically the design of the wiggle. The design of the wiggle, yes. So maybe let's move it like this. Okay. Oh no, this is the middle. We don't want to change the middle. Let's change the right one. Okay. See, now she's moving to the right, and now let's make it change to the left. That's what I wanted to. Okay. And now it's gonna wiggle like this. Maybe we can also make the bust wiggle. So let's make a new parameter and change it to like bust physics. Okay. Now let's go to the bust itself, make a warp of the bust. No, warp of bust. There we go. Let's make the parameters. Let's change, for example. Oh, no. Like this. So we can, go up and down a little. There you go. And now that we have these parameters, we're gonna go to modeling. Right here, modeling. And what we wanna do is open physics/scene blending settings. And here you can, I'm gonna open a new window capture for you. There you go. Okay. Here you can see the picture of the how does it add? This is the default values. What you want to do is add physics right here. They click the add. We need to name it. Let's make the bangs first. Bangs. Input preset. So this is where we click what part of the body this is. So this is a head input. So it's from head. So now, the head is gonna have the most input on the wiggle. Model preset is basically what physics you want to do. You can change them later, but this is this is basically telling the program what are you making the physics for. So let's go with hair long. And this is basically how's the physics gonna perform. See? This is input. This is what's gonna make it wiggle. So when any of these parameters change, of these four here, it's gonna affect the physics. And to actually make the parameter that we just made for the physics to work, we need to go to output settings. So this is the parameter that's actually gonna be changed because of the physics. Let's add, and let's add the one that we just done for the bangs. Bangs. We need to find the bangs wiggle. Bangs wiggle, there we go. Okay. And now this is gonna get affected by this parameter is gonna get affected by these parameters right here. Let's make the scale a little bit larger. The scale is basically how much it's gonna wiggle according to the parameter you just made. So let's make it like 7. It's gonna wiggle a lot. And now when you move it, see, the banks are actually wiggling. Maybe let's make it like 15 so it wiggles even more. See? The banks are wiggling when she's moving to the side. And also they're wiggling a little when she's going up and down. But we can change the output. For example, if you want the banks to wiggle more when she's going up and down, you just go to angle. Oh, there is no angle Z. Angle Y. So let's add an angle Y to the parameters affecting your physics. And let's make it like 40. Why is it not changing to 40? No. Yeah? 40. Why is it changing to 40? Hello? That's so strange. Why is it doing that? Yeah? Why is it so strange? I don't know what's doing that. Okay, I really don't know why it's getting the 0 here. Yup, yes. But like that's how you do. If you wanna add a parameter that's gonna affect the physics, just add it right here. And now we have a wiggling banks. Okay, let's add another one for the bust. So let's add bust, input present, bust input, and bust big. Okay, you see this is what's gonna affect it. So let's go with angle Z, X, angle Y, and angle Z. These ones are gonna affect oh, it's still doing that. That is so strange too. Let's remove this one because we're not actually adding body Z and body X. It's basically when your body is moving to the sides or up or down. But you know, for a Live2d model, I'm just mostly moving my head, so I'm not adding body parameters, but you can add them if you want. I'm just not doing so. It's just my, you know, my own technique. It's something that you have to decide for your own. What do you want to do? So I just really don't know why the effectiveness isn't changing. That is so strange. Oh, there you go. Now it's working. Don't know why it wasn't working before. Let's add 90 here. Let's do that. See, now nothing is changing because we didn't add the output setting. Now we need to add the bust physics right here and make the scale like, I don't know, 10. And now her bust should be wiggling. Wiggling. Maybe let's make this one 40 and this one 70. See, and now her bust is wiggling. Maybe let's make the scale even bigger. Like, I don't know, 20. See? Now her bust is wiggling. There you go. And that's the physics. You can also check it right here. This is also like a checking thingy. You can play like a little animation for you to check all the parameters that you have right now and how are they like showing. Right now it's very broken, but yeah. Okay, let's close the physics because we're saved already. And that's the physics done. Is there anything? Do you have any questions, guys? Good tea. I guess I explained everything right then. I think that's most of like of the basics covered. Because now the only thing you have to do when you have all the rigging done, like all the parameters here, there's also like brows, there's also moving eyeballs. Oh, oh my god, I'm so sorry. One more thing. When you've done the angles, you can also join parameters together. So this makes like a little, you know, square here. And what this does is basically makes it easier for you to also make different, see, when she's looking at an angle, like upwards and to the right, it can make it easier. And when you do them separately like this and you join them, it's automatically combining angle X and angle Y, so you don't have to do these four angles yourself. They're automatically done. You can just like remake them if something isn't right for you. But yeah, you can join them. You can also do that when you have like eyeball X and Y movements. What basically this is, it's for the eye lenses to move. You know, when you're like when you're like watching and moving your eyes around. Let's do that too. Let's show that, and that will be the last thing that I show you. Let's make an eye warp for right islands and left islands of eye lenses. There you go. And now let's do an eyeball X and eyeball Y. And eyeball X is basically, you know, the right key point is looking to the right, the left key point is looking to the left. And with eyeball Y, the right one is looking upwards, and the eyeball E is left key point is looking downward. No, that's not what I want. Downwards. And now she can like look around. But by the way, the SDK version of Live2d is different from the free version, right? Yes. The pro version just has more features and doesn't have limitations. For example, the free version, you cannot make more than 2 parameters for each like thing here in this on this list, or you cannot make then a limited version of parameters, so it has limitations. But the pro version doesn't have those limitations, but it's still possible, as you can see, to do a lot on the free version. So don't worry if you don't have the pro version. Certified basic question for good task. Yeah, that's okay. As I said, when you first download Live2d, you get 40 days of the free pro version. So I feel like if you only want to do a model for yourself, 40 days is more than enough for you to do it. So then you don't have the limitations anymore. But yes, the free version is fine too. Don't worry. That's why I'm showcasing this on the free version. Okay. And now you can join them. Join the eyeballs. See, and now the eyes actually move. Okay. And I think that is basically it. Now you only have to save. You have to export for, I mean, first save, of course, because then it's gonna just save as the model. So when you're still working on it and not exporting it, just save it. But when you actually are ready to load it into your tracking program, you can export it from runtime and export it as mock free file. And then our pop-up is gonna be here. I'm gonna show that pop-up. There it is. And you can show here what do you want to save it at. Do you want to export the physics settings? So you want to have the physics in your model. You need to export user data, display information. You can also export the guide image. So the one I just drew as art mesh. So if you want to like edit it in the future. Here you can what the center is gonna be of the model, canvas scale, pixels, export target. Everything should be fine here. And you can SDK 4. Yeah, you can now this is the 4th version of Cubism, so I'm gonna click the Cubism 4 version, and I'm gonna export it somewhere. I know. Drawings. Let's export it to drawings. Save. And now it's gonna be exported. And I'm gonna show you how does it look in the file folder. Now let's make the capture show my files. You go. Whoa, 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 whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa. And now you can see, let's hide this. You can see the different model files. This is what's gonna be probably uploaded into a tracking program, the JSON file. This is where the texture is. It's important to keep all of these. This is the model itself that you can load into editor for later. And these are also the physics, Yeah, and different files that are gonna be used. This all contains just information about the model. So yeah, I think that is it for. Oi, what happened? I think this is it for modeling. I hope I explained it right for you. And as I said, this really just requires a lot of practice. This is not something you can just learn instantly. But I hope I explained to you how the program works and the basics of it. And if you have any questions or you want me to make more tutorials in the future, you can also tell me. I'll be happy to help you with different things, not only regarding VTubers. If you want, I can also give you like tips on how to start as a VTuber, like how to draw, like how to like set up a stream, how to load your model into a tracking app, what tracking app you to use, and stuff like that. But that's for another stream. So, thank you so much for watching, and I hope I could help you with, just modeling, and I could help you with your passions. So, I'll see you in 2 days on Thursday. And I hope you'll have a sweet, sweet day today and tomorrow. And every day. Thank you, those are informative things to help keep your options open. Aw, that's so nice. I like the sound of Poki Sensei. I like the sound of that. So yeah. Again, I'm so happy you were here. And bye bye. I'll see you soon. I love you and please stay hydrated. Never stream Donut Demon Sensei. Nice. No problem. Okay, bye bye. Love you. Bye bye.